Hey everyone, this is a little unscripted and not particularly planned out. It's just, I've been trying to make this video how many times now, and it's just never came out the right way, and too many things keep changing, and I never have enough time to edit through it, and I go way too long in making this video, and so as a result, we're on to around umpteen million at this point, and it's time I give you guys a bit of an update on what's going on, because if you've been watching the channel for a little while, you might have noticed that I have not been uploading that much. I mean, I've mentioned that I was going to take a break and I was going to reduce my upload schedule, which that's true. That has happened and that is still in effect as of today. But also the videos that I did actually make for this channel in the meantime and just a little bit before then, you might have noticed not a lot of electric car content going up, even though I posted one of my personal favorite video projects of all time ever, which involved renting a Tesla Model 3 and road tripping it out to Ocean City. That was an awesome experience, and I got to do a collaboration involved with that. It's a video that I am kind of sad did not perform as well as it did. And so, yeah, don't mind after watching this video, maybe potentially checking that one out. It's the only video I've made with the Model 3 so far, actually. But yes, the point is, you might have noticed I have not been posting a lot of electric car content here on this channel, and that might kind of shock some of you as, for one, I've been building this channel up discussing a crap ton of electric cars and electric vehicle charging and the charging industry and just trying to educate people on electric vehicles altogether. And yet all of a sudden I'm uploading videos on gas cars, a bunch of Stardust updates, and I'm not seeming to, I don't know, discuss the EVs all that much. And so people are probably wondering as such, because I've noticed my subscriber count dipping, although it's technically steady, but I'm noticing that for every new subscriber, there's a few that are leaving as well. And at least that's what my statistics are telling me, which I can understand why you might have lost interest, given that you probably found me due to my electric car content, and yet I'm now uploading stuff on gas cars. So what is the deal and what is my plan going forward? Those are the two things I am going to address in this video today. So let's begin with the first subject after the intro. What's the deal here? And in case you happen to be new and this is the first video you're watching, hi! But also, yes, I'm not joking, most of this channel was basically built off of me discussing electric cars and electric vehicle charging and the whole NACS transition. That's one thing that I really got myself involved with. But obviously, I have not been uploading that type of content that frequently, so what's the big deal and why the sudden pause? And it is worth noting, and this is the reason why I've been trying to make this video how many times over, and unfortunately, there's not really a good way to say this without pissing too many people off, because sadly, something that I despise, as much as I love electric vehicles, there is a few things that I know are disadvantages, and this is the biggest one that I despise. And it's, at least as of right now, they are so politically connected, and I don't think they should be. Be it in Tesla's case, Elon Musk, in his involvement in politics at the beginning of 2025, and even his involvement in Trump's election. Yes, it was just very annoying to watch this whole thing go about from a Tesla fan standpoint. But then, because Elon got involved in this whole mess, now the whole Tesla fan community is not only just divided on the political thing and, oh, is Elon good, is Elon evil, and then we got all of these stupid bumper stickers, all of these, I bought this before I knew Elon was crazy, or I bought this after Elon became crazy, or what. I don't know. I am so sick of the bumper stickers, because first of all, for those of you who put the bumper stickers on that reads, I bought this before I knew Elon was crazy, this is my legit reaction every time I see that. Really? You that dumb? You had no idea that Elon was crazy? He's always been. And the reason why you should have known he's always been crazy is everyone doubted Elon in terms of being able to make the electric car reasonable and possible. Because back before Elon had changed the game with the electric car, even though technically Elon was not too affiliated with Tesla yet, the point is before the Tesla Model S, all of the electric cars out there were seen as these wimpy crappy city cars that had no miles of range and took all day to charge just to get you like what, 50, maybe 80 miles of range at best. That was before the Model S. And the Model S changed the game. Tesla changed the game. They defined the electric vehicle. And the only way you get moments like that is you need crazy people who will be doubted, people who will be seen as insane. I mean, it happened with the iPhone. Steve Jobs, considered a bit crazy. Like with the whole invention of the iPod and the bubble situation, if you're into tech and all that, yeah, there was a whole thing about, oh, why is there air bubbles coming out of the iPod when he submerged it in water? Like, you could consider he's crazy. And I mean, Steve in general was a bit of a crazy person, but yet look at what he's done in the tech space. We've got the Mac, we've got the iPod, we've got the iPhone, which was arguably his biggest game changer in the consumer electronic space. And it's no different with Elon, Tesla, and electric vehicles. It takes a crazy person to do this kind of thing. So for all of you who put those bumper stickers on saying, I bought this before I knew Elon was crazy, you're just learning this now? Or I guess it started a year ago, but yeah, you're just learning this a year ago? Sorry for the rant. I'm sorry. There's no way I can make this without pissing a few people off, but that's because politics are involved in this, and I cannot stand it. Because, for one, I've said this a bunch of times in past videos, I really don't care about politics. If I did, I'd have a politics channel. And yet, I don't. Why? Because it's a bunch of bullshit everybody decides to argue over, and who wins those arguments? Not me, not you, not anyone. It's a giant downward spiral. And so, I don't want to get myself involved in that. Just nobody wins. But I digress. Even Elon and Tesla aside, because for the past 4 years, thanks to the Biden administration, they had revived the $7,500 federal EV tax credit. That has really put a barrier to entry on people's perception of EVs, because now everyone views these as Biden-mobiles. At least around here. A lot of my friends thought the same thing. They didn't like the idea of the tax credit. They didn't like the idea of the government influencing everyone's buying decisions, and hence why everyone, at least that my personal friends, my close friends, everyone called them Biden-mobiles. I can't really blame them. But because I was opposed to the idea of the tax credit, the EV community really did not like me for that. And especially as I talked about when I mentioned, yeah, I don't care that the tax credit's going away, because for one, we don't have a tax credit for buying gas cars and such. And if anything, if the government really wanted to subsidize something for electric vehicles, I don't believe it should be in the sales. I believe it should be in the infrastructure. Because, you know, how much money do they invest in our fueling infrastructure? Like for gas and diesel vehicles? Why can't they invest in our electric vehicle charging infrastructure? That's my personal opinion on the matter. And so, Biden-mobile politics aside, I was in disagreement of the tax credit because I didn't want that money to go towards the sales of electric vehicles. I wanted it to go towards the infrastructure, which I'd argue was much more needed. And so when the tax credit went away for these electric vehicles, I didn't care. I was not that fazed by it, even though, yes, I would love to buy a Tesla Model 3 today. In fact, if I can get center stage to focus, there we go. Now it's focusing. See, right here on this monitor, this is still the car that I want to buy, spec'd as is. Tesla Model 3, Highland, blue paint, the Nova wheels, is that what they're called? I don't know. I gotta scroll down. Hello? Oh, yes, the Nova wheels. And with the white interior. That's the car I still want to buy, and I still have full intentions on buying it at some point. In fact, maybe sooner than I think, depending on what's going on with Stardust. Yes, I still have to give the Stardust repair update. Oh my goodness, I'm so far behind. But that was the big reason why I really didn't want to discuss EVs, because especially during the beginning months of 2025, all everyone wanted to talk about was the Trump administration and how the EV tax credit is going away, and all. It's just, I didn't want any part of that because I didn't care about the tax credit to begin with. And then also we had all of the Tesla hate going on because of Elon's involvement in politics. And as a result, I just didn't want to talk about this stuff because everybody was angry about what's going on. And my comment section actually ended up reflecting that. Even my view count actually started to drop as it's seems electric vehicle content interest has kind of slightly waned, at least from my perspective, because at least what I can do with EVs at this point right now on this channel, all I can do is discuss theory. I can't actually demonstrate driving an electric car, except for when I can review them from Q&A Chevrolet, because they've been literally the only people who have let me test drive cars, because there's no Tesla service centers near me or any other dealerships that want to loan me their cars to test. And for those of you who are familiar with this channel, even though I love electric cars, I still technically do not own one. Stardust, my 2019 Buick LaCrosse, is a hybrid vehicle, not fully electric, and even then, it's not plug-in. It's primarily run on gas. And as much as I love that car, it's still not an electric vehicle that I can demonstrate and share my story on living with and showcase what it is capable of. And dealer loaners and dealer test cars is not enough to showcase all of that. All I can do with those cars is give a tour and explain how they drive, but that's it. I can't do much else in explaining the electric vehicle lifestyle. All I've been able to do on this channel so far is discuss theory, and as far as I could tell, that interest on YouTube is not particularly high at the moment. And so the best way I can think of to solve this is I need to finally get an electric car myself and showcase me testing it. But obviously, buying a new car is not necessarily all that easy. It's an expensive thing. In fact, the very vehicle I'm looking at right here is around $40,000. It's not cheap. And then I also have even more frustrations with the Tesla community, because I mean, Tesla is one of the biggest EV players. I mean, not so much anymore, but they still are talked about so much. But there's another thing that's going on with Tesla in particular that's driving me absolutely mad, and it has to do, well, sort of with Elon, but not in regards to politics, but actually in regards to the whole FSD thing. Basically, the entire Tesla community, at least from my perspective, seems to have stopped caring about the cars themselves and now only cares about FSD and robotaxis. And call me a traditional Tesla fan or whatever you want, but I'm sorry, I really don't care about full self-driving. The rental Model 3 that I rented a few months ago, that didn't have FSD, and you know what? I did not care. I didn't need FSD to showcase what I wanted to in that video. What I wanted to showcase was driving an electric car on a road trip and the whole experience in just owning a Model 3 for a week, even though I didn't technically own it. I rented it, but still, I wanted to showcase that experience. I don't need FSD to showcase what living with an electric car is like. And I don't even see myself making a lot of FSD content in the future, because I've never really been one to like self-driving tech. I've tried it in a few other different cars. I've tried GM Super Cruise. Honestly, I really hate it. I can't stand it. And various other car systems when it comes to lane keep assist, and it's just, I really don't like the idea of all of this self-driving stuff. Now, I do like adaptive cruise control. That is the one thing I will give it. I love adaptive cruise control because it is infuriating when I have to manage both steering and the vehicle's speed at the same time. I do love cruise control and adaptive cruise control, but in terms of all of this lane centering and steering or that type of stuff, it's just, I found it gets in my way of driving the car. The reason why I like cruise control is maintain speed. That's not that hard. It's a lot easier to maintain speed than it is to keep a car within lane lines, especially when it comes to wintertime. That is, I have yet to see FSD actually perform here in Michigan's Upper Peninsula with its snow-covered highways. I would love to see FSD try that. But I digress. I really don't want to talk about FSD because I prefer to drive the car myself, and I think most people still do these days. And it really annoys me that pretty much the entire Tesla fan base, all they want to talk about now instead of the cars is just FSD and robotaxis. And that's a future I'm not excited for. And so that's adding more frustration on top of why I'm not making a lot of electric car content. Because for one, yes, I'm still a Tesla fan. I love the Model 3. I still have full intentions on buying one at some point. But the biggest reason why I've been cutting back on the content is it's a combination of the community and just frustration in general. It's hard and difficult for me to deal with this stuff. And so thankfully, at least at around this time that that frustration appears to have died down a bit. And so I am 100% definitely looking towards making more electric vehicle content along with reporting on the charging networks, because oh my goodness, there's been so much that's been going on that I have not been reporting as of late. And a lot of cool stuff has been going on this year that I haven't really talked about, like Lucid Gravity. Porsche just unveiled the new Cayenne, and oh, what else? Oh, BMW iX3. That is a crazy vehicle, especially for the price. There is a lot of stuff going on in the EV space that I can finally get excited about. It's just I needed to get my frustrations with the community past me before I can actually sit down. Okay, the filming set's actually over there, but stand up, go and record a video, and then sit at my desk to edit it and look at my overweight self for the next few hours. There's finally some stuff that I'm excited to talk about once again, and I don't need the community to bog me down with frustration. And so, yes, even though I'm still going to talk about a few gas car things, particularly with Stardust, as there's a whole repair saga going in that, yes, I know that video is long overdue. Along with, I also have a couple more gas cars in the pipeline that I got to finish editing videos of. My mom just bought a new car, and so I filmed a video of that. And then I also have, I shot a video actually of the Chevy Trax. I didn't get one of the Acadia because unfortunately I was a little sick during the optimal day to film the Acadia, but I did get a video of the Trax, and actually I did it out in a beautiful location since it was a loaner car. So there are a couple more gas car reviews coming out in the pipeline, but I want to bring the focus back to electric cars because that's where my passion mostly is. Even though some would argue EVs are not in a great spot, and yeah, I can see why. They got a lot pricier now that the tax credit's gone away, though if I'm being honest, the ones who primarily benefited from this tax credit really was Tesla to begin with, because every other automaker, for the most part, there's a few exceptions out there, but there's not many. Most other automakers only got the tax credit if you went through the leasing loophole instead of buying outright. And while, especially during the Biden administration, when, well, thanks to the tax credit coming out, we had massive EV depreciation, which signaled people to lease their cars to protect them from said depreciation. I can understand why they wanted to go that route, but I also know a lot of people, including myself, who would never do a lease. I would never do a lease because I don't want to give the car back. Plus, if you get in an accident, which you never know, you just never know. There's a bunch of idiot drivers out there. You never know when you're going to get rear-ended, or if you happen to be an idiot driver that day. Yeah, there's a lot of complications with leasing that I personally don't want to go through, and a lot of other people don't want to go through. We just want to buy the car, and once we're done with financing payments, or we pay the whole thing out in cash outright, it's ours, and no one can take it away from us. And so that was another frustration I had with the tax credit. Even though it allowed a much better used market for electric vehicles because they're so freaking cheap, it disincentivized a lot of people to buy new electric vehicles. In order for used vehicles to come on the market, people have to buy new vehicles first. But the reason why nobody wanted to buy the new cars was because they feared the massive depreciation. Why? Because, well, people weren't paying that much to buy them new to begin with, and it's a whole mess. There's a reason why I never liked the tax credit, and it's not just because, oh, it came out during the Biden administration. Again, I don't care about politics. Honestly, I don't belong to either party. I am technically politically neutral, but I digress. The tax credit was a mess. Oh, thank goodness it's gone. Yeah, this video is becoming a bit of a mess, and it's already getting a bit long, and I still have to edit through this, but no, that's basically everything I wanted to discuss in this video. It's just what the hell was going on. I was getting frustrated with the community, as the community was getting frustrated with political stuff going on, along with Tesla FSD shenanigans that I'm sorry, I cannot deal with it. But now that the whole political EV ties, that whole situation is, I won't say it's completely gone, but it's died down a bit. People have kind of started to settle their asses down on the whole situation. And as there's finally some actual exciting stuff to discuss with electric vehicles, like again, the new Cayenne, the iX3, then yeah, I still fully intend to just talk about electric vehicles. And because I've also reported a ton on charging networks, yep, I'm still going to be discussing the NACS transition, as that is still incredibly important. I am so tired that we're still shipping vehicles today with this stupid connector. So when I find the time, I'm not completely back just yet. I'm hoping to finally like get some time, clear some afternoons and evenings just to finally sit down and just start pumping out videos again, because it's been a hot minute. I mean, I needed the break. I was getting frustrated with the EV community and the tech community on the gadgets channel too, and the break has really helped me blow off a bunch of steam. But now that the community seems to have finally started settling down, just calming their butts down after the whole political changes and all that, now we can finally get excited about talking about new electric cars coming again. And oh yeah, Rivian R2 is coming out in like half a year or so. That's crazy to think. There's a lot more to talk about. There's a lot more to be excited about. And yes, there are still going to be some frustrations here and there that I will vent on time and time again. But there's finally stuff to talk about. There's finally stuff to be excited about. And I don't know. I'm kind of hoping I can get Stardust fully paid off relatively soon. And if that's the case, after the whole repair saga is complete, part of me is kind of feeling it might be time to sell the car soon. And finally, I've been waiting for years to be able to do this. It might finally be time to bite the bullet and get an electric car for myself. Don't get me wrong, I love Stardust. I love that car so much. I put about half of its existing miles on it at this point. But I have a feeling that I might not own the car for that much longer, as she's starting to get a little old. She's getting close to 7 years old, probably by the time I'll be purchasing this thing. And once the car is 7 years old, I mean, that's usually the average age of a car people buy when it comes to the used car market. Usually they buy cars that are roughly 7-ish years old. And at least if Auto Tempest is right, I'll be able to get enough money to make a reasonable down payment on a Model 3. And yeah, I'll finally have an electric car I can showcase here on the channel, which would be really exciting. But yeah, I have Stardust, at least at the moment, is kind of motivating my plans to get an electric car. So yeah, more exciting stuff to talk about. So yes, I've been posting a lot of gas car content because it's what I had available to me at the time, and there was just way too much frustration in the EV community that I just didn't want to deal with it. But from what I can tell, the frustrations died down, and I think it's time we can start making content and get excited about this stuff again and finally put all of this stupid political bullshit behind us. So thank you for watching. Do me a favor and interact with the buttons below, and also do me a favor and check out my Patreon page, which, by the way, the money that I raise on that Patreon page is going directly towards the Model 3. I will let you guys know that for now. So yeah, if you want to help me fund the Model 3 to finally actually get a car to showcase on the channel in terms of living with an electric car and getting rid of all of this fear associated with EVs, because sadly it is still out there. Yeah, if you want to help me fund the Model 3, that's what Patreon's for. So yeah, do me a favor and check out that page. I would very much appreciate it. This is the Random Alpha Drive, signing out.